expect much because I cannot see a single thing.
We're Nick and Charlotte and this is Finding Fins. We travel around the UK in our rusty old transit van searching for whales and dolphins. Follow our adventures as we discover the amazing wildlife and places right on our doorstep. In this series we take our adventures to Anglesey, a beautiful little island situated off the northwest coast of Wales, where we look for one of our favourite dolphin species, the RISSOS dolphin. We would love it if you could give us a subscribe and join us on our travels. Our previous vlogs of our Anglesey adventure show that the weather in Anglesey can be stunning, however it isn't always sunshine and blue sky.
So we are back at Anglesey.
We've had another trip in between. We've been to Skye and then we've come back here and the weather's just exactly the same as what we've just had. Oh, well, you'll see on the next series that's coming up, we had like gale force winds and torrential rain, and we've just come straight back to it here.
Yeah, we've just brought it with us. So we have been to Pointlynas this morning, which was amazing, but we got absolutely drenched and the wind was so strong as well. Yeah, it was a bit of a challenge.
It's annoying because it's probably the best RISSOS encounter we've ever had here. They were coming so close and they looked huge. They were spy hopping, they were breaching, they were tail slapping, and we're just not sure how good any of the footage is because the weather was just horrific.
Yeah.
So hopefully we've got some footage, but it was probably one of the actual best experiences we've had with them here.
They were so close to the rocks and they even came into the bay as well, and they were only like meters from the rocks from where Nick, where you were sitting. It's just so cool to see. There's quite a few of them as well, maybe like 15
to 20, and you don't normally see them in the bay as much. And you could see them surfacing and they just looked absolutely huge.
Yeah, it's a shame about the weather. It just made it really difficult.
Here's some of the footage we managed to get on our rainy morning at Pointlynas. It was quite misty and foggy along with heavy rain and strong wind, so it really was not ideal dolphin spotting conditions. The dolphins drifted across the surface of the choppy sea, surfacing regularly and giving us the chance to spot them in the awful conditions. As you can see, at times it was virtually impossible to get any footage. I missed this breaching dolphin on my camcorder, but thankfully Nick captured it. The bad weather didn't affect the dolphins at all, and if anything, they were the closest and most active we had ever seen them. It was just a shame it was so challenging to record them. The pod of dolphins swam right by us and headed straight into the bay, giving us a great view of them. We could see their bodies clearly under the water as they surfaced right below us. The dolphins swam by us within metres of the rocks, and it was incredible to witness this encounter. We will certainly never forget it.
We finally put our tent to use, which we got and haven't used yet, and we just wish we didn't bother.
No, it turned into a bit of a sail, I think, more so than anything else. But it was a good experience still.
Yeah, we'd started out in the tent, and then the wind just completely folded the tent over while we were sitting in it, so that ended up just being folded up and
It was
put away.
a disaster.
And then we just got drenched, as usual.
As usual, yes.
The dolphins were very active, displaying behaviours such as diving, tail slapping, breaching, rolling and spy hopping. They remained at Point Lynas for hours, making sticking it out in the horrible weather worth it. The dolphins swam back and forth, passing by the rocks regularly, so close to where we were standing. I had to keep wiping my lens to remove the raindrops that kept blurring the footage, even though it was instantly covered again and didn't make much of a difference. More dolphins headed into the bay to join the pod already there, resulting in more activity and displaying of behaviours. The pod slowly made their way towards us, tail slapping and drifting along the surface of the water. Nick resorted to using his phone to record the dolphins as the rain picked up again, but given how close they were, the footage was still pretty good even though it was taken on a phone. As the dolphins swam around in front of us, we tried hard to record them, battling against the elements. Nick turned towards me to tell me that the dolphins were in fact spy hopping in the bay right below us. We only managed to get a short, blurry clip of this spy hopping. Once again, the pod swam by us, incredibly close to the rocks and giving us a front row seat for the action. Eventually the pod drifted further out and continued their way down the coast. Completely drenched and freezing cold, we decided to head off as the visibility wasn't improving and the dolphins had drifted offshore. We said our goodbyes to our horse friends as we sailed off down the road, with our tent acting as a sail blowing in the wind. On our journey back, we were treated to a perfect rainbow across the main road and stopped to get a picture with this huge puffin to finish off the day. Join us next time when we head to South Stack, explore the lighthouse and get a glimpse of some fins. If you enjoy watching our videos, we'd love it if you could give us a like and subscribe to follow more of our adventures.